Alright, so this is what I'm going to be playing for the Synchro Fest. At least on my main account right now. So this was actually a lot harder to come up with because your Synchro plays typically involves at least one link and one XYZ. So it was pretty difficult trying to find a really efficient way to get a ton of bodies on the board. And I mean, it's honestly just going to come down to kind of being a little luck dependent. This isn't going to be as explosive as something like the Synchron, junk speeder thing, but it'll still get the job done. So we're running the Windwitch engine with a Crystal Wing. If I had more UR tokens, if I was a little bit luckier with pulling the Windwitches, I would have probably got a second one. Because you're going to find yourself going to Crystal Wing fairly often, since Borolo Savage Dragon is worthless. I also included Stardust Dragon. For later plays, I also included Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, just because he's a level 8, in case I, Gamma and get him on the board or something. It's a little weird, but we have options. I mean, you could always Gamma into Stardust if you're also doing the whole Windwitch lineup as well. Because, everybody's running Maxi, Ash Blossom, everything like that. So your Gamma is going to be live pretty much every time you start. There's also one other card I want to go ahead and mention now that I have in on one of my other accounts, my Charmer deck, and it's this the Wind Channeler. So this is basically another Tempest where you can discard it and another Wind monster to search for any Wind monster that has 1500 or less defense from your deck. But you can't do anything besides activate Wind monsters effects, which pretty much everything in our deck right now is a Wind monster. So this is basically like a second Tempest if you really think about it. You discard it and any tuner, or typically any tuner, even maybe Miss Valley Rock if you have it. But you discard it. Your big target, of course, would be Graham. And then you search for, if you have the Wind Channeler, if it's turn 1, you really want to go into Ice Spell. If it's any further turn, then you go into Remus. Assuming that you have a monster on board, because your Ice Spell is pretty much only live turn 1. But I didn't feel like having to get any more URs after I had to literally hard craft all three of these. It was rather unfortunate. Also went ahead and grabbed Wind Pegasus Ignister, though funny enough, never actually had to use them in any of the practice duels I've done. Typically, once I got Crystal Wing that couldn't be destroyed by card effects on the board, the game was over. Most people didn't actually get to destroy anything. So an ideal opening hand, you would have Ice Spell, Remus, Call by the Grave. This pretty much just is like you're full on go, or Ice Spell, Go Sarcophagus, Call by the Grave. If you really want that hand to be cracked out, if you have a Gamma, that's even better. But going first, that's what you want to see. You Ice Spell into your Crystal Wing, and then you Remus into, ideally, if you have the right cards, you would try to go into your red. If not, you would go into Stardust with your Dragunity Knight. Or yeah, with your Dragunity combo, you go into your Stardust Dragon. If you have the normal summon, if you have like a Senatus in your hand, and you can actually normal summon, then you could probably do both the Stardust and the Dragunity Knight. If your hand is just that good, by using your Barsha. So it's pretty linear, but honestly, most of the decks in this event are. And then the rest of the deck is just pretty much just hand traps, Maxi, Ash Blossom. for whatever reason, I only crafted to one Ash Blossom. I probably could use more, but I don't know. I feel like I run so many hand traps that a lot of my hands already bricks already. But Maxi, Ash Blossom, Nibiru is important here. I'm also running Crossout Designator. I might end up recutting this out, but we'll see. But the main purpose of this was when I was initially testing, I kept getting Nibiru because I didn't have the right plays to get Crystal Wing by turn 5 if my hand wasn't really, really lucky. But now I'm finding I don't really need to cross out Designator all that much. Because if I draw my Ice Spell or my Remnants, I can go into Crystal Wing on my 5th summon and then do whatever else I need out of my hand with my normal summon. Which your typical normal summon is Synthesis or Kyoki Mirror Dragon, which is still worth playing in this deck because you just stop light and dark monsters from being special summoned, so he's still pretty good. You could probably, I'm playing triple Tactics Talent, but also consider removing it. Dark Rule a little more because if you go second, you're gonna probably see like 4 negates on board. So if you draw your Dark Ruler no more and a Lightning Storm, you can clear the board and basically set up your board to stop them. Max out on Dragunity Whirlwind. You guys know how much I love Dragunity Whirlwind. In a lot of my test duels, this is pretty much complete reversed a lot of the matches I was in. When you go into a top deck situation, this card right here pretty much just reverses the entire game. Gets you right back into synchroing and sets up your board, and then if you already have your Dragunity Gram already in the graveyard, then it's smooth sailing from there. You're pretty much just flipping whatever matchup you're in. I think that pretty much explains everything. I don't think there's anything in here that's not normal for my plays. There was this one rare off situation. I had the Monster Born Speedroid Terratop to do my Windwitch's combo because I ended up playing Glass Spell and I already had the Snow Bell. So I just got their Terratop that was level 3 when taking this turn Crystal Wing, which I thought was pretty funny. But for the most part, this is fairly consistent. Like right here, you can make a play. I mean, this is basically the same as drawing Alistair with Invocation. If you played a Remus and they ash it, cool, you already got Ravine. You can play it, send out the driver. If they ash it, cool, you already got the Legatus in your hand. And the reason I'm playing Glow here, there's a really cool interaction. Dragunity Glow obviously can still search your Dragunity Gram, which is great. And Dragunity Gram has the effect where if you destroy a monster, you can equip it to Dragunity Gram. Well, the funny thing about Dragunity Glow is it says you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one monster card in your spell and trap zone equipped to a Dragunity monster. It doesn't have to be a Dragunity card. So this means if you're facing an opponent's Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and he's already used up his effect to use this negate on something else, and you managed to already have like an equip card, you can drop that Crystal Wing down to 2,000, swing over it with Gram, equip it, and then use your Glow to unequip it and give yourself an extra monster negate on board. Which has actually happened for me in one of my testing matches. Which, funny enough, it was amazing testing. You just open up a Synchro Fest room, say you're practicing for tournament. By the time my room would load up, there was already 6 people in there. I couldn't even sit at my own table because everybody took on my table, so you had to make like 20 spots. It was amazing. I loved it. So I would say this deck is it's not a top. It's like my regular Dragunity deck. I would be like, oh, it can compete against all the tier 1, tier 0 decks, and it can hold its own with just even a half decent hand. This one, either you draw great or you're bust. So I think for most of the matches, this is going to be fine. Especially because I purposely didn't go into platinum with my account since they announced this so early. So most of my opponents will just be in gold. I don't care. I'm a bully them. Call me whatever. I'm a bully. Oh, I forgot to mention my effect veiler. But yeah, I'm a bully, and I don't really care. I just want the gems. Because as you can see here, I'm down to 2,600 gems from a whopping 9,900 gems I had before. You know, I had to get my Dragunity Errant Knight in the royal finish. I do not regret that. And then I had to get the Windwitches, so I threw about another 3,000 gems trying to pull a ice spell to not pull an ice spell, and I had to burn everything else basically to get it. But I think this is a good deck. You could probably still take out a couple other things. I would highly advise running 2 Crystal Wings. And if you're looking and you're like, wait, you said the World Savage Dragon sucks, why are you running it? In case I need a level 8 dragon that I don't care for. And because I can always play any of my level 2s and then go into another Dragunity Knight, which, I don't know, I might mess around with some of these numbers. Like I might get rid of Judgment Dragon, which he has his advantages, because if you do have, in the very, very late game, if you hard draw Dragunity Whirlwind, you go into your Dragunity Knight Vajra, you get another level 2 Phalanx, you go into Judgment. So if you already have your Effect Veiler, your Snowbell, your Glass Bell, and your Koos, because Remus is probably going to banish itself, then this effect is on, and you can pay half your life points, destroy everything on the board, and then special summon your grandma out the graveyard. That's 5,900 damage on the board. So this effect comes live pretty much turn 3, turn 4 for you, if you open up a pretty good hand, since your Ice Spell combo is going to automatically dump 2 more tuners in the graveyard for you, and most of your Dragunity plays are going to dump another 2 tuners of different names for you. So the 4 tuners with different names, that's so easy to hit. You just don't want to go into this too early, because banishing the top 4 cards throughout your deck is detrimental. You need every single thing that you can get. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, or even if you have some tips, maybe I'm overlooking something other than adding like Speedroids to here, but I don't want to do that. I like the Windwitches as an archetype well before this event, so I was already familiar with them, and I just decided to throw them in there to give me the extra extenders that I needed. Because what ended up always happening, I kept getting ashed when I opened Remus, and a lot of my hands didn't have the Call by the Grave or the Gamma or the Crossout, and I didn't have anything else to play. But with Ice Spell, if they prevent this, then I can go into Remus. If they prevent that, then I still have a normal summon. And if they prevent that, they're just way too good at the game, and I deserve that L. So this is the deck. I don't know of any other way to lower the numbers at the moment, but yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching.